All right, how's everyone doing? I'm Rich CELENZA. Thanks for tuning into the Rich CELENZA Show. WTF are you talking about? So, what I want my podcast today to be about is it's not always what you wear, it's how you wear it. So, I'm going to get into this pretty damn deep. If you like clothing or you like fashion or even hygiene, this is going to be a pretty educational podcast, I think, for you. If you don't give a shit about those type of things, you're going to probably be bored out of your life. Bored out of your mind, not bored out of your life. Sorry about that. I just took a nap, woke up, but I'll be fine. All right, so yeah, I've had a busy week. Just a heads up, I was in Chicago, had to go to Toronto. Next day, I had to fly to, I'm in Spokane, Washington, actually, but I had to catch one of those early flights, and I hate doing that. I don't get enough rest. And if you listen to my podcast, listen to the ones where I talk about rest. I swear to God, I think it's one of the most important things you're going to do in your life is get the proper amount of sleep. I think it's in my belief, it's even more valuable than what you eat, in my opinion. It's more valuable than fitness. It's more valuable than anything. I believe sleep is the backbone to everything for longevity of life, for your brain to refresh, reboot your body and mind to just everything. I think it really revolves around sleeping. So, anyways, let's jump back into this regarding fashion, I guess you could say, or apparel. I grew up in the fashion business to a certain degree. My grandfather owned the largest factory at one time in Chicago. So a lot of my family members, even though when I was born, were kind of getting out of the business, a lot of them also were still in the business. I have my uncle who was a very well-known designer. I have a couple cousins that were designers or that were in the industry as well. Besides that, some of my family members own factories still within the garment industry. So wearing clothes or looking a certain way is very important to some of my family members, especially my father and my mother as well. My mother's a huge advocate of looking sharp. I guess you could say it's an old family expression that you got to look good, you got to look slick. If you feel good, or if you look good, you're going to feel good. All them type of things. Very fashionable. But here's the thing. So I was in Chicago, and I think Chicago at one time may still be one of the fattest cities in the world, if not the fattest. It used to bounce, I think, between Illinois and Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Two very steak-driven or meat-driven states and cities, obviously. But a lot of people in Chicago are obese, and that goes for a lot of places in the United States, including Canada. But I don't think it's Canada as much as United States. I know that. But so what I want to get into is you have to realize for clothes, for one, to look really, really good on you, you're going to have to be, I believe, in decent shape. That does not mean that you have to be in incredible shape or incredibly fit, have a 32-inch waist, have the perfect shoulder length, a great chest. But what I am saying is, for one, you want to be proportioned to your body. I don't know if you know this. A lot of times you want your neck, your arms, basically your calves, to be roughly around the same size. And your chest and shoulders, that's a whole different thing, because that's a little different. But when you put clothes on, you want to look proportioned, and you want lines to look very sleek. You don't want bumps where they don't belong. If you know anything about the fashion industry at all, including models, one of the reasons they want tall women is, one, they get to show off a lot of the garment, but also tall shows off the sleekness of them. And this is not a dig on anybody that's overweight. You can look great in clothes in general. I'm not sitting here saying if you're overweight or you're obese or anything that's ridiculous. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I think looks best. And like I was saying earlier, it's not always what you wear, it's how you wear it. Your clothes have to fit you properly. That, again, doesn't mean, and this I see tons of, because I call it the Pee Wee Herman kind of style now. A lot of these suits or things are extremely fitted. I mean, to the point where it looks like it's even pulling in the midsection. A lot of news anchors I even see doing that. Very thin lapels, very thin ties. Now, if that's your look, God bless. I'm like 200 pounds, between 5'9" and 5'10". I can't wear that stuff. I look like a child. Me personally. Let me get some water here. So, you're going to have to find clothes. If you're a man, for instance, and I'll talk about women as well. If you're a man, you want to find a suit, lapel, or everything that really looks good on you, even if you got to go vintage or classic. I don't care if you got to go back to whatever time period you like that you feel comfortable in and look good in, you might consider wearing. And I know you may be thinking, well, I like the 1800s, but I look like, this or that, or I like the 70s. But man, that stuff's out of fashion. I look like I'm caught in a time warp. Or I'm still stuck in the 80s. Whatever the case may be, there's a way in how to incorporate older clothes, because I do it all the time, and bring in a modern flair. If you know anything about me, I love shopping for, well, I was before, not as much now, for a lot of consignment resale shopping for discounts. And what I was always trying to do is find vintage or classic pieces of clothing that I buy. Still do, and I wear them. I get more compliments on them than I've ever gotten on any type of clothing ever. And believe me when I tell you, I used to wear a lot of high fashion clothing, especially in the 90s and 2000s. I'm talking everything. And even when I was working at Neiman Marcus, I loved, a lot of high fashion clothes. But I realized as time goes on, I wanted pieces that look very unique, that no one has any longer, or that are kind of talking pieces that may stand out. Now, my father goes very far with this. He's very extreme with that. He's kind of caught wearing pieces that are really showy, that are very, I'm not saying reeking for attention, but kind of a show-off type apparel, which is fine. Again, I don't go that far with it. I like little bits and pieces. It could be not only the sport coat, it could be a different style shoe, the tie, something like that. It could be even shirts, vests, all these different things. I kind of like the classic look. I can go preppy one day. I can go vintage the next day. I can go higher fashion the next day. Then I could go very casual. And then I'll be wearing tuxedos, to weddings or things like that. So I like a variation of different things. But when I was heavy, what started to happen with me is my weight would start fluctuating. And I think a lot of men and women go through this, where I would basically bounce between 230 and 250. So my clothes sometimes would look fitted. And then when I got too heavy, sometimes they looked too tight. And then when I got actually under there a little bit, then there was too much room in the stomach area, or maybe even in the chest area. So I never really, I was never on point. So one thing I want to tell you is, and if you know anything about my videos or podcasts as well, I try to teach people how to lose weight or gain weight. Try to get to a weight you're comfortable in. I finally had to go down to 195, 200, and I hold that. And by holding that, I was able to get all my clothes tailored and know specifically what I'm looking for consistently and figure out what I know looks best with the way my body looks now. I don't think a lot of men know that, because and women, I keep saying men, I don't know why, but women and men, they'll find, or they'll be a certain weight and clothes start to look good, and then they either gain weight and they still think that size or that look still looks good on them, and it really doesn't, because now they may have a belly, their neck may have gotten bigger, their arms may have gotten bigger, or the other way, they may start losing weight, right? So now everything is hanging on them. It's sagging. And even though you're losing weight, a lot of people are like, yeah, I feel good. Yeah, well, your clothes look like shit. And back to how you wear them. Your clothes are wearing you now, when your clothes are basically either too big or you're too heavy. Because now you've lost control, I believe, and your clothing has come in and has kind of just, I'm trying to think of a specific word I can't think of right now, but it's conforming you. That's what it's conforming you into something that doesn't really look that good. Now, you have the right to look any which way you want. I'm not going to disagree ever with that. But as you know, a lot of times when you look at someone else, You know if they have their shit together or they look a certain way. They just look great. Clothes are supposed to, basically be the armor of your body. They're supposed to make you feel good. They're supposed to obviously look good, but they're supposed to basically have a presence where people see you or the way you see yourself. That is very, I think, powerful and very it is an expression of who you are. Now, as you know, a lot of people that love, let's say, they love fashion. They love to wear very fashionable things. If they like rock bands I talk about, or they love rock and roll, a lot of them will dress kind of rock and roll. If they're skaters, they dress like a skater, maybe younger people. But if you're an athlete, you wear athletic wear. It goes on and on and on. That's a form of your identity, right? Same with work, your job. You may or may not have a uniform, but most likely you do know the right way to dress or what is acceptable. Or you might be in an environment, which I've been in LA, where you could really dress any which way you want. And the more extreme you are, the better off you are. God bless you. So, hold on, I'm going to get some more water. But the one thing that I want to tell you today is here's a trick too. I haven't talked about this on my podcast in a long time. So I hope not to be redundant, but every day it seems like I'm getting more and more people. So these were earlier episodes or there were videos. And here, if you want to lose weight, really, truly, one of the things you got to learn is you're going to be spending a lot of money, and that is on clothing. Because if you're a size L, I talk about it, and you want to drop to a medium, you drop to a medium, you don't stay in your all clothes. Because your clothes aren't going to fit. If you're large and you get heavy and you're an XL or double XL, your clothes are not going to fit you. Same with a woman. If you're a size 8, hypothetically, and you want to get to a 4, and you do, your clothes are not going to fit. If you're an 8 and you jump up to a 10, again, most likely your clothes are not going to fit. I mean, you have to understand that. It is going to cost money. But one thing I do teach is if you do want to lose weight and you're having problems or gain weight, is change immediately. Go out and if you can't afford this, just go back to resale, go to secondhand stores. You want to gain some weight? That's what I used to do. I was always a scrawny kid. Finally, I just couldn't seem to gain weight. I started to program my mind and body to say, I'm going to get bigger. I was always a size small. I'm 138 pounds. I said, F this. I'm buying a medium, and it would hang, and my dad would go, what are you doing? You look like a slob. When I go shopping, I'm like, I'm going to fit in this. I'm going to keep hitting the gym. I'm going to keep hitting. And before you know it, I was a medium. I says, I'm getting a large. He's like, you're out of your mind. It hangs too much. Before you know it, I ended up to be a 3X, which I went crazy. I was actually between a 3 and a 4XL. I was going to big and tall stores. I had an obsession of getting huge. But then when I was heavy, I was between 230 and 250. I finally decided in my early 40s, hey, asshole, you don't feel too good. You're really not, the belly, you got to be very careful here. Your family has heart disease. I said I have to start downsizing. So I basically was like a 2X. I would say I was around a 2X. Then I went out and brought clothing for XL. I quit going to big and tall stores. That was one thing. And then I got down to the XL, and then I got down to an L. The only thing is my arms are still relatively decently sized, so shirts are hard to find. I may be between a large and an XL, depending. And I also have my all my shirts tapered in the waist area, because a lot of shirts, as you know, especially in our country, unless it's a European cut, they're very wide in the waist. And I would recommend always having your waist taken in if you can, because it really gives your whole body a different dimension. One thing, if you look at, for instance, Tiger Woods, for instance, you could tell each one of his shirts, for instance, are all tailor-made for him. And you could just see how that makes his body look very slick. I'm just using him for an example because I know a lot of people. And a lot of women, obviously, out there, I would recommend any dress, unless it really fits off the rack. Almost any dress you get, I would bring it in and get tailored. And that goes for a lot of your clothing. Because again, I believe nobody's body is the same in the world. It's impossible for someone, for the most part, to design something and then throw it at you and it fits perfect. A lot of times you'll get away with it. But if you really start looking at it, the front, the back, the side, you will start to see the flaws. But if you have a tailor, really tailor that dress or your jeans or whatever the case may be, take before pictures and then take after pictures, look at them. or wear an outfit out, then have it tailored, and then look at it, and then have, again, photos or video, you'll be shocked at how different that one outfit, dress, or whatever you are wearing. I would spend less money on clothing buying it. I'm always looking for sales. And then having my clothes tailored. Because to me, having them tailored is just, it tailors it all of a sudden to my body. I get more and more compliments on my clothes over the years. Well, when I'm thinner. But I know when I have my clothes tailored, because certain shirts, I don't have every single thing tailored every time, but I could tell immediately when I have stuff that's tailored, that's the ones that people say, wow, that really fits you. Where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get this? Where'd you get that? So that is something to think about, because again, if your clothes are tailored to your body, then when that tailor comes in now and does the increments as far as maybe, your sleeves too long, your pants too long, your hem, your coat, your dress, your all these different types of things I could get into. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. So these are things I really want you to think about. And getting fitter, one of the things I want to say to men and women is, and I live this as well, a lot of times when we stand up, especially middle-aged, clothes look pretty good on us. Sit down with them. And you may be like, wow, that's kind of weird. I don't usually think about that. I should have mentioned that in my program, Mastering Self-Confidence More. I think I'm going to mention it in my book, Wingman in the Model Bible. But when you stand a lot of times and you're in a dressing room, yeah, you look good, right? A lot of times. Fits, the waistline, oh yeah, it's really good, I'm good. Sit down, grab a chair, or look in the mirror. Even have, if it's like for if it's for a wedding or something, a baptism or christening or a gala of some sorts, women especially, listen, standing always for the most part looks great. Go sit down. I don't care even if you're in a dressing room area with your friend. Go sit in front of the mirror, sit down and look at yourself from the side, have someone take a picture. I promise you, you're going to look at it differently immediately. Because unless you're extremely thin or extremely fit, a lot of times you're going to have a roll there. How that roll looks is basically how a lot of people are going to see you throughout the day. And, a lot of people don't acknowledge that. A lot of men, too, you get this fitted shirt, and then you go sit down, and then you take your coat off, so you have a sport coat or a suit, or tuxedo. You take that off, you're sitting there at dinner, and this thing you're starting to sweat or something. It looks like there's all these rolls in your stomach. You got to realize you got to find something, again, that gives you a little breathing room, and that's smooth in that area. All right? Certain shirts work better than others. Certain materials work better than others when you're sitting. Same with your ass. Women know this. A lot of men don't pay attention. They either buy a suit that's not tailored. They just go get one. They think the coat fits. Then you look at the pants. The pants don't fit. It's hanging way too low. Again, your hem is too low. It could be dragging on the floor. The front is bunching up. There could be all these different things. Again, you want to make sure you look your best. Take your time when buying clothing. And these are just some of the tricks I'm telling you. Also, when you go shopping a lot of times, go shopping. Have someone, again, take photos of you every side. Back, front. Pictures don't lie a lot of times. Don't buy it. Keep going shopping. That day, don't buy anything necessarily unless you find an incredible deal. It's on sale and you're pretty sure it looks great. Come back like the next day. Either have them hold it or whatever. Go through your catalog. See which ones look best. A lot of times we give up too early. We'll go to one store, find something, no big deal. Put some time into it. You know what I'm saying? You could find a better deal a lot of times, even find different deals, or you may find something very unique. Take your time, and also you may find something that just looks a lot better. Women are a lot better at this. I'm going to be honest with you. But a lot of men think they don't have the time to shop. Bullshit. A lot of men can't afford to buy a lot of clothing. Or they're not interested. But so a lot of men too, they don't like to return things, I think, either. Most. They're not like shopper remorse guys. They'll buy something and wear it, and then even if like they'll be out, whatever, forget it either. Just throw it in the closet or throw it out. You don't have to do that. Find good clothes that are affordable, and I promise you'll start liking shopping a lot more. Also, if you spend, say you went out looking for a suit and you went consignment shopping resale, or say you just went out looking for sales at an outlet mall, a lot of times guys will just settle and be like, all right, that thing costs $400. Geez, I'll just do it. You may have shopped another 2-3 hours, found something for $100. Is that worth the $300? Of course it is. Think about it when you shop as saving you money, finding what you truly want at the price you want. Okay? So, all these things hopefully are helping you, my God. I don't want to get redundant or get crazy on this, but I really don't think people also understand that what they wear is either reflecting confidence or reflecting that they are lazy, reflecting that they don't care about their bodies, reflecting that they feel great about themselves. It's just, most people are being judged by your clothes, and so are you. Don't try to deny it. I don't care who you think you are. I don't care if you're a billionaire or whatever the case may be. Whatever, if you want to be cool in jeans and t-shirt your whole life, play that angle. That's a representation of who you are. I always talk about it. You want to be a guy who golfs a lot. When people see you, you're like, I only like golfing wear because it's casual, this or that. Well, that's cool. That's what you're sending off. Same with women. If you're wearing a certain type of clothing, you're going to just be expressing that. And just own it. I didn't really get too much into my first wing book regarding certain things that I wish I would have. But one thing I do like about that is owning it. Owning your personality. Owning who you are. Expressing it. Do not hold back. If there are certain things you want to wear, wear them. Again, it has to be appropriate for the occasion or for your job or whatever, unless, again, you become so wealthy it doesn't matter. But I still think a lot of times we still want to be looked at a certain way. Own it. When you walk in a room, don't be afraid to wear it. Don't be on the fence. You could tell people that a lot of times, and I get this especially with men, they hate wearing suits, monkey suits, whatever you want to call it. Even my friends that are lawyers, even my friends that are wealthy, they hate wearing suits. I get it. Let me get some more water. But I got a news flash. They still have to go to the courtroom, right? Number 2, they still are going to go to weddings. Number 3, back to all different occasions, galas. You're going to have to wear a suit. But here's the thing. Just going and getting a suit that's tailored, that fits you, that's cool in the gang. But you have to represent it. Your posture, everything about you, as if you own this suit, right? There's these little things, even wearing a pocket scarf. I don't know if you know this. It's a little trick. Where a lot of times anybody could put a suit on. But if you have a beautiful tie and pocket scarf, I should say, or either or, but mainly that pocket scarf, it's a little trick saying, I want the added, touch. Not only that, your pocket scarf, if it's very unique and beautiful and really accents your shoes, your tie, it could be your cufflinks, people are going to look at that and go, holy shit, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to dress, and it could be that simple, okay? So again, I see a lot of men walking around with their suits. They're like hunched over, like can't wait to get the jacket off. And these are, professional people. I hate wearing suits. They just look like they're gloomy. You're wearing a suit. You have got to pull the suit off. Make it look good. You don't got to wear it all night necessarily, but just make sure you look confident and make sure girl or guy or whoever the hell you're with makes them look good as well. If you had a girl walking around saying, oh, I hate wearing dresses, slunched over, say the dress really doesn't fit that well or it fits, but you could just tell she just could give a shit about it. She's kind of just walking around and dismal. You're like, what the fuck? It's the same for them. A lot of women I know don't like to get overly dressed up all the time, which is understandable. But girls, ladies, women, if you're going to wear something, especially high-end, own it. Learn how to walk in it. Learn how to represent it. Don't go overboard. I'm not telling you to sit and become all posy and come in with your nose in the air. I think you know the difference. But please, when you put your clothes on, own them. Also, do not second guess yourself. I know tons of people that go shopping. They get all of a sudden very excited. They want to try different clothes, try some different colors. It could be even, say a man tries, instead of a dark blue suit, he's like, dude, I'm going to go white. Okay, cool. A woman may be always in, darker colors as well, or wearing a lot of layers. She'd be like, no, I'm going to go really maybe something short and very explosive with a lot of colors. Beautiful. And then when they go out, they're almost scared to leave the house. Again, they don't own it. Own it. Give it a shot. You've got nothing to lose a lot of times. If you were excited to wear it and it looked good when you were wearing it and you had the confidence to pull it off, give it a shot. Most likely no one's going to say you look like shit. I mean, that's ridiculous. But see how you feel throughout the day. Those are all little confidence builders, I call them, because most people get caught up wearing dark colors, as you know. A lot of dark colors make people look thinner, and a lot of dark colors, a lot of fashion is geared around them, except for a couple seasons. Black is always going to be in. Dark blues going to always be in. Gray, most likely, dark grays, they're going to always be in. Certain colors now, women too. Certain colors are always in. Again, don't over-accessorize, but just make things work. And again, I'm going to go right into this too. Accessories, make sure they accent what you're wearing. I don't believe in over-accessorizing. Women can do whatever they want. Men, be very aware. I think less a lot of times is more, but again, do whatever you want. I also think shoes, I think small touches in shoes are awesome and unique shoes. To me, going way off color or way off base for me screams, I need attention, look at my shoes type thing. Women, again, can get away with whatever. They can dress any way they want for the most part, and they can wear anything they've ever wanted as long as it's appropriate. Men, I don't believe it looks that great doing a lot of things that are really off color or crazy. So that's just my opinion. Again, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there. You get a decent idea of please learn how to wear your clothes, man. Don't let them wear you down. Take care of your damn clothes. Hang up your clothes. Don't let them lay on the floor. I don't care if they're cheap or expensive. Have your clothes dry cleaned if you can. If you can't afford it, learn how to wash them correctly and iron your clothes. Do not leave them wrinkled forever. I travel a ton. People, I always see even the people I travel with, they don't take care of their clothes. They keep it in the suitcase all week. It's destroyed. They're wearing stuff that's wrinkled. Again, don't lie to yourself. If you got a question if your outfit is wrinkled, it's got to be pressed or ironed. Because if it didn't need that, you wouldn't be saying that. Kind of like when you buy clothes sometimes. You're not walking in the store a lot of times going, and it looks mint on the hanger. You're not like, does this need to be ironed? Maybe sometimes, but most of the time, no. Then you try it on, and that's what it's supposed to look like. Same when you get home. So remember those type of things. And also accessories, have them where you can, how do I say this? Especially your ties and your cuffs. Have a lot of things, shirts and everything, where it's all you could kind of see it as one. I look at it as a big puzzle. It's like putting certain things together and experimenting, but out of sight, out of mind. Like, try to remember when it's kind of like a puzzle though. If you have all the pieces in front of you, you see them and you start putting them together and you can test them. But if you got like shirts in one area of the closet and then another bedroom has your pants hypothetically and suits in another one and this over there, it's hard to kind of blend. You want to be a little creative. And the same goes for women. And I know a lot of times a closet can't hold all our clothes, but try when you're getting ready to try different things on is just think about it too the night before. Don't rush yourself the day of, because I really believe like the night before or the day or two before or even a week before, if you need it dry clean, you get it clean, but you start thinking about it, it gives you time to change your mind. Or like when you go an hour before, say you're getting ready to go or something, you kind of have in mind what you're going to wear and you go to it and it's wrinkled or it's ripped or all of a sudden it just doesn't look good or it doesn't fit correctly. You may have not worn it in 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever the case may be. You're like, holy shit, what do I do now? Now you're in a panic. Try all your clothes on, way before that. Kind of pick out your outfit so you're ready, really ready. Your tie also looks good if you're wearing a tie, your pocket scarf, everything's ready. Your shoes are polished, because then when you're ready to go to the occasion or go to work or do whatever, you're prepared. And that goes for even if you work and travel. I get everything ready the night before. Guys I see in the morning trying to scramble, I meet them in their room. They're like, oh my God, I forgot this. I didn't even realize I didn't bring the right pants, or is it a tie, or is it this or that? Be prepared, and then it's just smooth sailing. Going to an event or going to work or going to a lot of places and you're properly dressed or you're prepared, it's huge. It's a game changer. And if you're one of those people who are last minute, man, good luck to you. But really, I'm telling you, to take a lot of stress out of your life, if you have all your clothes ready, just in general, your gym clothes, your work clothes, whatever else you're doing, a day or 2 days before the day is coming, It's a game changer. It's unbelievable. And also, here's one last thing I'm going to say: have backup clothes in your trunk of your car. Sometimes things happen. Somebody could spill a drink on you or whatever. And I'm not talking sport coat or anything, or suits. I'm talking like maybe you have a backup pair of jeans or dress pants and a shirt, maybe a sweater, maybe even a coat. Sometimes we don't bring those things. It can rain, snow, or whatever. But if you have if you have backup clothing, you never know. You may go spend the night at someone's house. Who knows what's going to happen? You have backup clothing along with underwear and socks. Just something to put in a little valise, a bag, or something in your trunk. Just something to think about. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Oh, yeah, toothpaste, all that stuff. Have a backup little bag. I got to do that. I got to get another cachet case and put that in my trunk. I keep forgetting. I'm going to wrap it up there. If you like any of the things I'm telling you, like I said, I have a Mastering Self-Confidence program. You can check all that out on my richcelenza.com. I got to do a true podcast on that. But I'm not the guy who loves pitching sales. I like to buy but hate to be sold. So I hope sometimes I don't get redundant saying certain things like I'm trying to be all salesy or this is an infomercial for that. It's nothing like that. I just want to help people be the best they could be and things to be aware of. That's really what I'm trying to do. And I have a YouTube channel out. I'm always trying to help people with fitness. I show people my favorite Italian restaurants, talking about relationships, how to master their self-confidence, how to find the woman or women of their dreams, all these type of things. And again, you can find that on my website. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Did I say that? LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't know. 4 of the main ones. Who gives a shit? If you go on there, leave a comment or whatever, or follow me or whatever the hell you want to do, or connect. I love connecting with people, especially that I have something in common with. So, all right. Take care. And if you're traveling, safe travels. Do not forget to wear the clothes. Don't let them wear you. All right. And again, I have other podcasts and other videos regarding how to get fit, lose or gain weight, and all these things. Go check them out. I keep getting hit up more and more and more on that. I just keep sending links to everybody. But yeah, it's all there for you, at least what I think has worked. And everything I'm telling you is not just a pitch. It's how I live and what I've done. So it's real life experiences. It's not bullshit that I read out of a book or that somebody else told me. Everything I tell you is the truth. All right, that's all I got for you. Take care.